Greetings. Hello, everyone. I'm JP.WATKINS, and I decided to just do a quick little talk about healthy bonds and unhealthy bonds, as I've addressed in some of my lectures, my different presentations, about how a lot of times we have these unhealthy connections, whether it's social media, whether it's like myself, learning to have a healthy connection with food, rather unhealthy food addiction. So like what made me think about is I actually just got done eating today. Like I said, I do my intermittent fasting, so I haven't eaten for 20 hours, and so I had like one meal. So I had my meal, and I actually ate to satiation, and I'm so used to eating everything, and it was still like maybe a third left, but I was already full. But due to that mindset, that poverty mindset for me growing up, in poverty and growing up in scarcity, you want to hog up stuff. You want to eat up everything. Oh man, may not be none later, so I'm going to smash it now. So I just got to thinking about how important it is to have healthy relationships and healthy connections. Because a lot of times we have these unhealthy connections, and a lot of times we're feeling lonely, we're feeling frustrated, we're feeling empty, and a lot of times we don't really dig to the root of that problem. So why do you feel empty? Why do you feel lonely? Why do you, why don't you feel fulfilled? And this is what drives addiction, whether it's food, whether it's drugs, whether it's sex, whether it's social media. It's a lot of times we're using these things, whether it's food, whether it's Facebook, as a distraction. It's going to distract us so that we don't have to feel whatever we're feeling. So we're taking this short-term detour away from what we're really feeling, rather than dealing with how we feel. So saying, hey, you know what? I feel empty. Why do I feel empty? Why don't I feel connected? And sometimes just asking yourself those questions, you'll start to really dig deeper and come up with better answers. So, why don't I feel like I have meaningful relationships? Or why don't I have better relationships with my loved ones, with my family, with my friends? Sometimes it's a deficiency. That's where that accountability comes in. Sometimes we close ourselves off, we lock ourselves off. I know myself, as a writer and artistic type, I require a certain amount of time alone. And at one point in my life, I was my best company. So then if you're looking on one side of, why are you lonely? Well, because you're not creating any opportunities to build meaningful, lasting relationships. If you're always isolated, nothing's wrong with reading and enriching yourself, but don't hyper isolate yourself. And so I just want you to think about, what do you have an unhealthy relationship with? Is it binge watching TV all day? Is it staying on social media all day? Is it drugs? Is it, some type of other addiction that you're dealing with? Is it alcohol, food, gambling? It could be any number of things. But if it's something that you're hiding, it's something that make you feel shame and guilt, then that means, you're probably nursing an addiction. So, and I'm not a specialist in that area, but it's something I can speak to because it's something I deal with as a food addict. Something I could deal with from when I was a hustler. As a hustler, I understood that hustlers are addicted to the lifestyle as well. So I do know a bit about addiction, but I don't proclaim to be an expert in that space. But I do feel like part of a way to reverse that addiction is to start having healthy connections, to be able to bond, have healthy bonding, have a healthy relationship with whatever. If it's money and gambling, you want to be able to have a healthy relationship with that. Healthy relationship with people, healthy relationship with sexual activity. you know, because basically somebody once said, if you are experience dis-ease, that's kind of like a warning sign. That's your blinking lights. That's your flashing lights before you lead into disease. So if you in dis-ease, you know, you feeling guilt, you feeling shame, you know, you like, man, I sat on Facebook all day and I ain't do nothing. I ain't do laundry. I ain't even wash my behind. I ain't do nothing today. And you sit around feeling bad, or you sat around and you binge watch, you know, reality TV all day and you just didn't get nothing done, you know, ask yourself, you know, what can you do to reverse that? How can you start managing your time better, managing your addiction, if it is an addiction? How can you start working on reverting that, you know? You get into some meditation, get into some yoga or Tai Chi or something that's going to stimulate your mind, something that's going to help you feel more connected with your inner being. Because a lot of times this journey that we on, it's inward. We think it's external, we think it's outward, but it's inward. And once you discover the riches that you got inside, you won't have to numb yourself. You won't have to stuff yourself to where, you know, you got all kind of heartburn because you done sat there and just stuffed yourself. Be full with that passion that you got. Be full with life. Be full with the love and the hope and you know, and the spirit of empowerment that you want to pass to others. And that's the thing. A lot of time, addiction, it robs us of that sense of power. It robs us of our dignity. You know, so claim your dignity back. Empower yourself. You know, take an honest inventory about having healthy connections or unhealthy connections, and with what, and ask yourself, what am I going to do about it? And once again, I'm always big about acting today. Don't put it off to tomorrow. You know, if you got to go, you know, hey, hit that YouTube up, you know, hit Vimeo up, you know, hit Google up, hey, you know, reversing addictions, getting help, you know, can you get some help? Reach out for some help. Find a support group, you know what I'm saying? Talk to your uncle that used to be on heroin for 20 years or whatever. Reach out to somebody that can help you. You know, don't suffer in silence. You know, don't let denial get the best of you. The only way you're going to grow is to face that, you know, face that elephant in the room, tackle the elephant in the room, live and lead like a lion. Get out there, get in front of your problems, and be the best you that you can be. And in the meantime, persist, believe, and achieve. All right, y'all have a great day. Take care.